Hey, we are live once again, live. It's Wednesday night. It's March 3rd, 2021. My name is Jay Aletto. This is PWP Nation right here on YouTube. Please hit that subscribe, like button, share the video because we're doing these Monday through Friday every single night of the week, sometimes on weekends when I'm feeling froggy. But I'm here with my friend Mix. iammix on Twitter.
Yeah.
iammix24 on Twitter, actually. What's up, bro?
Glad to be here, man. Very excited to be here tonight, man. Thanks
Lots
for
to talk about. Absolutely. And I plan on doing this, bringing you back. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
So like a part of my whole journey through this, I guess, political ideology that I've been going through. I told you I was like a liberal big time. Now I'm leaning right, more of like an anarchist, kind of in the middle, like have no idea what's, my stepfather is really conservative, right? And he loved the show that we did together. He loved it. He was like, that mix guy is awesome, right? That mix guy's, I was like, oh, really? No shit.
That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah, dude. He loved you. So he might be watching this again. So shout out to Dave. What's up, dude?
What up?
Anyway, let's get into this, bro. Governor Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York. How long has he been governor for?
This is his third term.
So that's like what, 10 years or something?
I think it's 10 years now. Yeah.
Okay, so 10 years governor. He has two of the biggest scandals going simultaneously. However, what I've noticed, and I'm sure you have noticed too, is the mainstream news media has taken a hard left turn away from the nursing home scandal, where he was responsible for 10,000 or so deaths, right?
Obviously,
and now, and now they're focusing in on this, sexual harassment type of scandal, which seems to be right out of their playbook. It's par for the course for things they do to cause distractions for the people. I listened to him today too. What are your thoughts on what he had to say today? And what do you think about this whole chaos that's going on?
I was hoping that he would follow Governor Abbott's order, follow his lead, rather, follow Ron DeSantis's lead, follow the governor of Mississippi's lead, and trying to pivot away from this disaster that he caused, the sex scandal, the nursing home executive order disaster. So I was hoping that he would pivot from that mess, follow Texas, Florida, Mississippi's lead, and fully reopen New York. But no, he does some half-ass thing where 33% capacity in the arenas, up to 500 people outdoors or 200 indoors, some half-ass garbage. And then he comes out and says, oh, no, I know that you guys want to reopen and you want to reopen fast and you all want to get back to work and the fiscal cliff and the financial disaster and all of this stuff. Then, and then in the press conference, he actually takes a swipe. I don't know if you noticed the PowerPoint. He had a PowerPoint slide taking a swipe at the Texas governors, Florida, Mississippi, saying that, them reopening too fast is dangerous or something like that.
I missed that. I missed that specifically. But he was like digging at them a little bit, right?
Yeah, taking an obvious swipe at them. Well, I'm like, shit. Well, at least they're taking a chance. They're taking a risk. They're opening up. Meanwhile, this guy is going through all of these scandals, and he still won't reopen New York. The theaters are not even open. Broadway's not open. The movie theaters are not open. The restaurants are operating at 35% capacity. It's a total disaster. It's a total disaster.
Yeah, and you're
no wonder the tax base is leaving, going to Florida, going to Texas, going to the Carolinas. No wonder people leaving the state because his refusal, his tax base is eroding. Now what he's going to do is if he stays in office, he's going to end up raising taxes on the middle class, on poor people, on the rich. And then more people and more businesses are going to leave. Open up New York. If you really wanted to pivot away from your disaster, look what the Texas governor did. Governor Abbott. He had that big disaster last week or 2 weeks ago with that winter storm, that Arctic blast that brought in all of that snow, that had that major power outage that caused 4 million people to be without power. It was below freezing for like over a week. There was no heat, no hot water, no power, no nothing. So what does Governor Abbott do? It was a disaster. And then we're talking about secession. Texas was going to secede from the union and all of that stuff. All that stuff is out the window now. But that was a big topic before this big Arctic blast came. But what does Abbott do? He smartly pivots away from the disaster he had last week with that Arctic blast with 4 million people without power. There were actually people that had to move into their RVs. They had to move into their vehicles just to get some heat, just to survive, because it was like 9 degrees or 10 degrees for days. And Texas is normally not used to temperatures like that. So it was very unusual to get a Arctic blast that with snow and temperatures that were below zero, below freezing for several days in a row. Very unusual. So what Abbott smartly did in this big announcement he did early this week was to say, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to reopen everything. 100% capacity, no mask mandates. I'm going to ease all of the restrictions. Damn what the CDC says. Because the CDC has been wrong anyway. The CDC has been totally political. They've been totally corrupt. They've been messing up ever since this pandemic started.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
They've been giving out different rules. We don't even know what to follow. Even Fauci, when Fauci speaks, he's lost all credibility with me too. So I don't even listen to him anymore. A double-minded man like Fauci is unstable in all his ways. That's who Fauci is. Because one minute he's saying no mask, the next minute he's saying wear a mask, then the next time he's saying wear 2 masks, then he comes back and says wear 1 mask. So I don't know what the hell is going on with him. Yep. He's getting political with it too. So I'm glad that these governors down south, Texas, Mississippi, Florida, and others are stepping up. And unfortunately, Cuomo, he had the opportunity to pivot like Abbott did. And now nobody's talking about the power outages and that whole disaster anymore. Everybody's saying, oh, Abbott's great. He's opening up everything now, whatever. He's easing the restrictions. Everything's going to be open. Cuomo had the opportunity. Obviously, he missed the opportunity. And now these scandals that he has, the sex scandal, the nursing home executive order disaster, that's going to continue to weigh on him. I don't know what's going to happen with him. He may or may not resign. I don't know what's going to happen.
Well,
he's going to have to deal with this for the foreseeable future.
Let's look at this real quick, Mix. Let's look at this shit. So this is Twitter trending right now, news. So we got, of course, Texas at the top. Then we have Tom Cruise, Kroger, a woman on maternity leave, COVID-19 news and updates for New Jersey, because that's where I'm at. Covaxin. What is all this stuff? Where is Governor Cuomo being a perverted piece of trash and having multiple sexual harassment accusations against him in the past few days? Not only that, but dodging everything about the deaths, the 10,000 plus deaths, whatever the number was.
I'm hearing 15,000. I'm hearing 15,000.
Like, where is this news story? This is what I want to know, Twitter. Where is this news story? Tell me where this news story is. Is it trending?
Not even Twitter can bury this story. When you have the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, who is the toughest Attorney General in the nation by far, whatever the New York Attorney General says goes. That regardless of who's the Attorney General in New York, whatever the New York Attorney General says goes. So when she came out, and I was shocked, I was legit shocked when she came out and accused the Cuomo administration of undercounting the nursing home COVID disaster by 50%. They actually undercounted the amount of people that died in the nursing home executive order disaster by more than 50%. So the fake number, the Cuomo number, was 6,000 something. The actual number is at the time it said 12,000. I'm hearing 15,000. No one told Cuomo. Donald Trump didn't tell Cuomo. Nobody told Cuomo. DeSantis didn't tell Cuomo. Abbott, Newsom didn't tell Cuomo. Who told this guy to sign an executive order that would place COVID-infected patients back into nursing homes to die? Who in their right mind? And even Trump called him out on it at the time. But orange man bad. Or Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that. He's bad. Cuomo sexual. I want to fuck Cuomo. I want to do this with Cuomo. Cuomo's great. Better than Trump.
Dude, let me ask you something real quick. Let me ask you something while you just mentioned that. So I want to stay on this point. You kind of just alluded to who told Cuomo to do this? Who was the one that gave him this order to go ahead and not follow what I think was probably the smart plan is to put people on the cruise ship that was there. I know like Trump
Right.
administration sent a cruise ship to one of the ports where they could have put people onto to be properly quarantined and not put people in nursing homes, take people out of nursing homes because we don't want our elderly and senior citizens to be exposed, especially in a tight, packed in place like a nursing home. Have you ever been to a nursing home? Those places are horrible. Most of the time, you walk through a nursing home and you walk out of that place a different guy if you walk through the entire thing. I'm just saying. I don't know if you've ever been through one, but
Yeah.
It's a humbling experience. So like you get them out of there completely. You shut those things. If I'm Cuomo, I'm doing whatever I can to shut those things down immediately. But he did the wrong thing. So who are you saying gave him this directive to do the wrong thing?
I have no idea. I don't know, because for what I'm hearing, Governor Whitmer in Michigan was doing the same thing. I'm hearing Governor Wolf in Pennsylvania was doing the same thing. What didn't Rachel Levine, the nominee for health secretary, the tranny, that one,
Yeah.
okay,
Ooh,
puberty
dropping
blockers
bombs,
and
bro.
all of that stuff.
I don't think you can say tranny in 2021,
Oh,
bro.
well, whatever the hell that thing is, okay, whatever that
Yeah,
is.
I got you.
What is she? But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wasn't she the one who dragged her own mother out of her own nursing home just as this whole disaster started? She dragged her mother out so fast out of that nursing home because they even copied the same plan as Cuomo, and then Michigan did the same. I don't know if California did the same, but I know Pennsylvania, Michigan, New York. I don't know who, but I don't know whose bright idea was this. This was not the smartest idea. Even Donald Trump was saying it at the time, but everyone was like, fuck Trump. Everyone was like, orange man bad. So no one wanted to listen to what he had to say. No one was listening to Trump for anything he had to say, to be honest with you. Nothing.
No, never. Nothing. No, you're right. You're right, dude.
Even the hydroxychloroquine thing. Remember that disaster? That
Of
was
course.
the biggest controversy ever.
And here's the thing, Mix. Here's the thing too, is like the big thing over hydroxychloroquine was the fact that it wasn't like an FDA approved drug for the coronavirus. That was like that was like their reasoning. They're saying like, okay, this isn't FDA approved. And we have this person up on the screen right now, and this person wants to give children hormones that aren't FDA approved. They want to give children hormone blockers without parents' consent, without permission. It is some of the most horrific, insane bullshit I've ever heard in my entire life. I don't understand it. I never will. I don't get it. I don't know why you put somebody like this in control of like the health department. It doesn't make any sense unless you're just strictly pushing an agenda. Like that's what this is. This is clearly agenda driven. I have nothing against LGBTQ and whatever other letters go on to the end of that.
Me
but
neither.
Let's call a spade here. This isn't exactly the person that I feel the majority of America would want in charge of our children's health. I'm not a parent, but there are children in my life that I care about. My nephews, my friends' kids, stuff like that. And I don't want to see them have to go through this kind of treachery. You got to watch everything that children are now putting into their brains because they're getting messages across the board that just relay them right to the whole narrative that is being pushed by the liberal extremists.
Let me tell you something. The conservatives have already lost. They've already lost the culture. They've lost the culture war. So anything that the left does, the left, they always try to creep in some type of corrupt thing, canceling things, pushing LGBTQ things to children. Children are the most impressionable people. They believe in anything, basically. This is why they need their parents to defend them, and block whatever negative messages or negative images that they see, because the left is always trying to push their perversion. And they've been doing this for years. And I mean, the conservatives, they've lost it. They don't control academia. They don't control Hollywood. They don't control Silicon Valley. They don't control corporate America. They don't control Washington anymore, really. They don't control, not even the Supreme Court. Not even the Supreme Court. I mean, they may have conservatives in name only in the Supreme Court, but even they have abdicated their duty. Even they don't want to touch on certain things anymore. So it's a cultural war that's been long lost, and I don't think there's any chance of the right ever getting it back. I don't think they're ever going to win it back, no matter what they do.
It's so deep because now, like, Disney is one of the power players in that space and entertainment in general. It's bizarre because I'm an ESPN fan. I think we all are. We all kind of grew up with Sports Center, and excuse me, I had to reset my password for my ESPN app to watch the UFC the other night. And I reset it and I got an email from Disney. And I had to do like a double take. Like, why is Disney emailing this? Oh yeah, they own ESPN. They own everything. And they also are tied so deeply into China. And I think China is having a big effect on what's happening now. But let's talk a little bit, pivot a little bit to CPAC over the weekend. I don't know if you watched some of the spectacle that went on at CPAC. I happened to tune into just Trump, and then I saw some highlights of some of the other speakers and whatnot. But man, they got roasted so bad for that Trump statue. Did you see that gold Trump statue? They were all praying on it and stuff. That the crazy thing is they don't like the people who are roasting it just don't understand that kind of religion. It's a religious thing. It's praying. That's what people do. You could put your hand on freaking anything. They do that. They do that. They put their hand on each other and pray. It's not like a thing about Trump. It's just something that brings them all together. They could have put any statue there that represents what they love. It could have been anything. So tell me a little bit about what you thought of Trump's speech and the fact that he's teasing 2024.
Trump was excellent, true to form. He was fresh, looked younger than he did when he was in the White House.
He did
a month ago.
He did. He looked refreshed. He looked refreshed.
And I mean, compared to Biden, Biden hasn't spoken to the media at all. In 43 days in office, he has not held not even one press conference. No stamina, no energy.
Why do you think that is? Why is that? It's just because he has no energy. They don't want him to talk to the media?
Probably they're covering for something. Yeah. Maybe his dementia, his obvious cognitive decline. And then you compare him to Donald Trump, who can go on for hours without a teleprompter, can ad-lib, can speak from the heart, speak from the mind with a lot of energy, and people eat it up. People eat it up. And it's obvious he has a lot of support. The CPAC poll numbers came out, 68% prefer Trump in 2024. Ron DeSantis was second. Yeah. And I mean, what can you say? You compare him to Biden? Biden truly, it's like Biden doesn't even exist. We haven't gotten a State of the Union from Biden yet. Biden hasn't held a press conference at all, not even one. He's always running. Anytime you try to question Biden, he's always running away elsewhere. Running away in the other direction.
And he usually goes the wrong way. He goes the wrong way, and they have to pull him in the right direction.
Oh, this way, sir. He goes the wrong way, and then he goes without a mask on.
Yeah, exactly. So when usually is the State of the Union? Isn't it like pretty much immediately? Like it's like a couple weeks.
February, like late February, early March, or mid-March.
So we're at that point. Is it scheduled? Do they have is it scheduled to happen?
I haven't heard a date. I haven't heard a date announced. I have not heard
look it up.
Announced yet.
Let's look it up here. Let's okay, so this is let's look at fact check here. USA Today fact check. Yeah. I'm gonna share the screen so you can read this along with me here. Hold on. I love fact checks, bro. They're so funny a lot of the time.
Oh, you notice that they stopped doing the fact checks now, right? Ever since Trump left office, they stopped doing the fact checks.
They're not doing them as much.
When Trump was in office, they was fact checking like a motherfucker. Every day, fact check that, lie, false, fake, da. Minute Biden comes into office, fact checkers are gone.
That's right.
There's no disclaimers on Twitter anymore. What are disclaimers from Twitter? Remember all those big disclaimers from Twitter? Where they at now? Where they at? Gone. They disappeared. Minute January 20 came, gone.
Here was the claim. A Facebook user recently noted that President Joe Biden has not delivered his first State of the Union address. That user falsely claimed that it was supposed to be done by February 20th. While the U.S. Constitution says the president shall from time to time give to the Congress information of the State of the Union and recommend to their consideration such measures as he shall judge necessary and expedient, it does not set a timeline. The last 6 presidents also have not delivered an official State of the Union during the year in which they were inaugurated, according to Congressional Research Service. That's interesting. So I didn't know that. So in 2017, President Donald Trump did not deliver a State of the Union, but instead an address before a joint session of Congress. Same
Okay.
thing.
They're the same
What's the difference? Same thing. When will President Joe Biden speak to Congress? They don't know. They're just gonna BS through this.
I'm sure that he'll speak this month. I mean, this month just started. I'll give him time to speak. I'm sure he'll speak this month. But
yeah, he's got to.
43 days, what has Biden done? What has he passed? What has he signed? What has he actually done?
So he's signed a bunch of executive orders. We know that.
Yeah.
We know that he's signed a bunch of executive orders. However, the executive orders have been very vague, and we don't really know a lot of what they were about. A lot has to do with like climate. I know they stopped the pipeline, they stopped the wall building, they did all that kind of stuff. They did what every president does when there's a change of political regime, and they just change everything the last president did, pretty much, right?
If you look at the Twitter account, Biden voters posting their L's online, which that's a great account, because now he details all of the promises. Where's the $2,000 checks? Where's the $2,000 checks? Where are the checks at? Where's the minimum wage increase that they was talking about? Where's that at?
Yeah.
Where's the student loan forgiveness, $50,000 student loan forgiveness? Where that at? Where is it at?
Dude, I forgot to pay a bill the other day. Yo, I forgot to pay a bill by like 2 days the other day. And I told the lady, she called me and she was like, oh, yeah, you didn't pay your bill. I'm like, oh, my bad. Yo, the Biden said we'd be getting this $1,400 and we hadn't gotten it yet. And he kind of lied to us, right? So like, I'm just going to pay it Wednesday. I get paid Wednesday. Can I do it Wednesday? And she was like, yeah, no problem. But yeah, she's like, she literally said this, bro. She's like, yeah, that's right about Biden too. That really sucks. And I'm like, yeah, it does suck. But here it is. Here's this page, bro. Biden voters posting their L's online. Look at the
he's not gonna last long. Yo, he's not. I love his avatar of Kamala.
What are we doing?
Kamala and Joe. Let me tell you something. So we voted these people in. They made all of these promises: $2,000 checks, PPP loans, student loan forgiveness, the whole 9 yards. Yet, what is the main thing that Biden's doing? Canceling jobs canceling the XL pipeline, killing jobs that way. What does he also do? He's starting new wars in Syria. He actually dropped bombs in Syria before he released checks to the American people. He dropped bombs in Syria before forgiving student loans. He's dropping bombs while people out here are still suffering from the terrible lockdowns that the American people have been dealing with for over a year. But he's quick to drop bombs in some foreign land, but not to take care of his own people, the American people. That goes to show you how much Washington cares about you. It goes to show you how rotten DC establishment is, both on the Democrat and Republican side. The Republicans ain't saying shit about the Syrian bombing. No one's saying anything about it. But if Trump had did it, which he did, the liberals were going nuts a couple of years ago.
Yeah, they were going nuts.
But when Biden does it, everyone's just silent. We can't say nothing because it's our guy, it's Biden. It's ridiculous. Total hypocrisy. It's a double standard.
Dude, it's always going to be like that because like you stated before, you made a great point before, brother. And you said that the left, they run the media, they run Hollywood, they run the music industry, they run the sports industry, they run all these gigantic industries and they work in lockstep. It's like that Time magazine article where they said in the article that there was a powerful cabal of elite people from all different levels who helped to fortify the election, not rig it, not do anything like that, but to fortify it. That was Time magazine's words. So like, what my question is to you is how do the right, the conservatives, the Republicans get their money together? Because at the end of the day, it's a money game, and try to get back into these industries, because I know I'm not wrong to say these industries haven't been dominated this hard by the left. And I don't think ever, man. I think this is probably something that might be new, but I really don't know. So what's your take on that? How did they get back into this?
I mean, what I always say is let the liberals create these companies, but to actually lead the companies, there's got to be a conservative. It has to be a conservative being the CEO of these companies. Because when you have CEOs like Dorsey and Sundar Pichai and Bill Gates and Tim Cook, all liberals, and look what they're doing, and look how they control the culture. Zuckerberg from Facebook, look how they control the culture. I mean, let them create, because liberals have a lot of ideas. They're very smart, very progressive. They're very funny. They used to be funny,
Sure.
but conservatives need to actually lead and run the companies. They don't have to necessarily build it, but you need that balance to tame the children, because the children, which is the liberals, they're running around unchecked. They're out of control. Everyone is placating to their needs. They're buying people out. Conservatives are being squeezed out of the public square. We have no voice. The only voice we have is Fox News and maybe talk radio. I know Rush Limbaugh just passed.
Yeah.
We had
Rush, man. And I wasn't even a big Rush Limbaugh fan. I kind of thought he was a dick at certain points when growing up and whatnot. But I went back and I read about what he did for radio, and wow, unbelievable what he did for talk radio. Like, it's very possible that we wouldn't be doing this right now if it wasn't for Rush Limbaugh and kind of the way he forced that push for talk radio.
Yeah, I mean, he was like the godfather to Sean Hannity, to Bill O'Reilly, to Mark Levin and Michael Savage and all of those people that have been on radio for long. So he built that industry. Just him on AM radio when it was about to die. Brought in the ratings, and he was able to bring in other people, Hannity and others, to lead the way. But that's all we really have is just talk radio, Fox News, and maybe small networks like OAN, Newsmax, or whatever. But conservatives don't control anything. Not even these Twitter. They don't control anything. I don't know. I mean, you can build your own company and do what you got to do. Parler did that. They built their own social media, right? And look what happened to them.
They got canceled. They got taken off of the Apple iStore.
They always tell us, oh, then go build your own company. Okay, well, somebody did build their own company. Somebody built Parler. Dan Bongino was an investor in Parler. And now look at them. I mean, they're back, but they're not really.
They're a shell of what they were. They're a shell of what they were, man. I went on the platform just because I didn't even know the platform was conservative. I just heard it was like a new social media platform, and I always sign up for the new ones. Like, every time I hear about a new one, I just sign up for it. And I went on it, and I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, this is different and stuff. And then I saw it was real conservative, and I'm like, okay, I get it. All right, let's see what I could do here. Let's talk to some people here. And then before you knew it, it was gone, just shut down, turned off completely.
Because the whole point of the left now is to silence our voices. You know this. You've seen how many people have gotten banned over the past several months. Good people, good accounts with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of followers getting banned. They try to erase our voices so we can't be heard. And then when we try to go elsewhere, they try to shut them down by other ways, by shutting off the web servers or stealing the domain name or doing whatever it is to silence our voices. They always say that, conservatives are hateful, hate group, whatever. I mean, that's not true. But if you repeat the lie long enough, people tend to believe it, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that's where conservatives they just get boxed in. They get put into this box of racist, sexist, homophobe, Islamophobe, whatever it is, transphobe, whatever it is. They get put into this box. They can never get out of it. Anytime someone attempts to speak up or attempts to try to create something, look at Gab. They try to attack Gab, and they're pretty independent. They even try to attack Parler and Gab's banking services, where they can't even utilize Visa or MasterCard. So they can't even function in a society. They can't even use Amazon Web Services. So they can't even function online.
And that shows you the problem.
Yeah,
that shows you the problem that these companies they roll it. Like, even you or me, just by talking about this kind of stuff, like Capital One Bank, if they wanted to, they can just shut it off or whatever. It's just it's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. It's not constitutional, I don't think, and it just is not American.
That is why Donald Trump, before he left office, he was begging to get Section 230 repealed. Begging. He wanted to put it in the NDAA bill. the National Defense Authorization Act bill.
Right. Yeah.
And Republicans refuse. Why? Why? You've been treated like shit on all of these platforms. You've been getting silenced. You've been getting canceled. You've been getting doxxed. All of these different things. But why would you fight again? I don't understand these people. Like, you had an opportunity to do something that would have a long-lasting positive effect on the internet, and they refuse to do it. I mean, this is why I called in the last podcast we had that the social media companies need to be categorized as utilities, like the phone company, like the water company, like the light company, because they can't cut you off because you are a racist or homophobic or whatever kind of buzzword that the liberals have for the day.
Because they decide on their own. They become the judge and the jury in that case. Yeah. And it's like, there's different interpretations of who, you can define somebody as, like, especially with that, the trans rights stuff. I know you can say specific words on Twitter that'll automatically get you shut off. Automatically. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But it's just unbelievable because you can even use it in a context that isn't offensive, or just use it in a discussion like open discourse and dialogue, and you will be shut down in a heartbeat. It's unbelievable.
This is why I equate the modern day social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google, is the modern day 21st century communications. This is the way of communicating, the messenger apps and all of that stuff. This TikTok, this is the way to communicate. And this is what it was back in the 20th century with the phone companies when they had to break them up and categorize them as utilities. It's the same way in the 21st century that they need to categorize these companies as utilities, Facebook, Twitter, Google, and break them up too. So they can't, this is the modern day public square. Even YouTube too. YouTube banned a lot of good people. I remember I subscribed to like Stefan Molyneux and a lot of other people, Amazing Polly, and had a lot of people, X22, and they banned all of those people. Dollar Vigilante, Jeff Berwick, they banned all of those people.
You know who I haven't seen in forever is Eddie Bravo. Like, where's Eddie Bravo? Like, Eddie Bravo used to just talk all kinds of conspiracy stuff and have all these crazy theories, and just, he was fun to listen to. And he's completely silent now. He just does his jujitsu because he is a jujitsu coach, and he doesn't talk about anything anymore.
Where's Molyneux? He was big. He was closing on 1 million subscribers, and he got taken down. He was at 900 and something, and he got taken down.
They shut off Steven Crowder the other day on Twitter.
They've been after him for a while. They've been after him for a while now.
He actually went to Nevada, and he actually got like evidence of voter fraud, like real evidence of voter fraud. Went to addresses, and there was like a parking lot there, or there was like a store there, or like some place who had no idea who that person was. Just unbelievable. And he had dozens of these, and he tweeted about it, and they shut him off right away. Boom, banned. 12 hours.
Now he knows better. You can't talk about the 2020 election anymore. It's been settled. Biden won 81 million. That's what they say. He's the most popular elected president ever.
All time.
More votes than Obama.
How glorious.
2008.
And you remember when he inauguration, when that one media anchor was like, look at the lights, they're like Joe Biden's arms spread out, embracing the country. It's like, what kind of propaganda? What are we doing? Is this a communist country? Like, are we really worshiping the presidents? Like, even some of the Trump supporters, bro. I like Trump too, but like some of the Trump supporters are a little bit crazy about it. They worship him, and like, let's stop worshiping any politician. They should not be worshipped. They should be working for us 100% of the time. We should tell them what to do 100% of the time. We should not allow them to get away with the shit they're getting away with. This Andrew Cuomo guy is completely out of control. He's using, like today, even that press conference, I'm going to go back to this for a second. He was using his charisma. He was using his ability to public speak. He admitted he's an attorney, to just kind of slow dance around all those questions. And that's what he did. He got the boo-boo face going, bro. He started like borderline, like crying at a certain point, like trying to hold back the tears. That was some Emmy Award winning shit today, bro.
Yes.
Totally, man. So, and this is just the beginning for him. This is going to get crazy for that guy, because if they went that hard at like a Judge Kavanaugh or whatever, they better go hard at him.
Well, he has left cover. Democrat media, the New York media failed us, because remember the Lindsey Boylan story broke a few months before, and New York media buried it. Like Lindsey Boylan, she's actually running for Manhattan Borough president, and she came out on Twitter and admitted that Cuomo has sexually harassed her or whatever the situation was. But New York media buried it because Cuomo was the talk of the town, the toast of the town. Cuomo sexuals, everybody wanted to fuck Cuomo, and all of this bullshit.
Did you say Cuomo sexuals?
Yeah, that was like an actual thing. Chelsea Handler, all of these bitches was coming out because they wanted to fuck Cuomo. Now, because he had Orange Man in office, he had cover. Now that he no longer has Orange Man to shift blame on, he's all on his own. Now he has to deal with reality. Now he's got to deal with the nursing home scandals. Who Janice Dean from Fox News, I got to give her credit, because Janice Dean, she had her in-laws in those nursing homes, and they died from the COVID early on, and she was blaming Cuomo's nursing home executive order early on. This was early on in the pandemic, so she's been on his ass for a year, and I got to give credit to her because she's been consistent, she's been persistent, and I hope that she does see some justice, because she's been on it before even New York media was talking about. Now because Letitia James is talking about it, saying that, oh yeah, he undercounted nursing home deaths by 50%. Now they want to jump on it because Tish James, their boss, is talking about us. Now they want to talk about it too. Yeah. And then they try to pivot to the sex scandal because everybody likes sex, and everyone's all hyped up on the Me Too, and everyone likes to hear a story of a 63-year-old man trying to hit on a 25-year-old woman. It's perverse, but that's the reality. That's what brings in the TV rating. Sex brings in ratings. It is what it is. So they're going to talk about that more than nursing home deaths. That doesn't seem as interesting to them, but that's just what it is. So now they're talking about that. But if Tish James hadn't even brought it up, then this whole situation wouldn't have come about.
Check out those nipple. Check out that nipple, bro.
Yeah, they was falling in love with that stuff.
Check out that nipple, dude. This dude is probably engaged in some crazy. Look at this guy. Look at that.
He was going on CNN with his brother early on in the pandemic, and Chris Cuomo. So Chris Cuomo on the Cartoon News Network. He don't want to talk about his brother and his sex scandal anymore. Wait a minute. But you was running around, running your mouth off, talking shit about, and then you coming out here bringing this big cotton swab, this big anal swab, okay? Bringing it out on camera, and y'all yucking it up, laughing, y'all laughing and stuff.
Oh my god, yeah.
Just throwing it in our face. And now when your brother's in trouble now, when he's facing some heat, when he's facing some actual damning charges against him, allegations. Oh, now I don't want to cover anything. Now he's my brother, and I can't cover it. Oh, now he has journalistic integrity, but he didn't have no journalistic integrity when he was bringing out a fucking anal swab and bringing that shit out, and him and Cuomo chucking it up.
I gotta find that. Oh, there it is. There it is. I was
yeah.
What are we doing? What is
it? This is News Network, CNN.
This is what China wants to put in everybody's butts. They want to literally probe all of us.
And they actually had the Japanese government come out and say, listen, we don't want you anal swabbing our citizens. Okay. Like, stop. Like,
bro,
stop.
Get this. Hold on real quick. I was, remember I told you I was on TikTok. I got suspended for violating community guidelines. Wow. What did I do? Like, what did I say? I thought I was saying things that were right for YouTube, right? I guess.
TikTok Were we on live on TikTok?
I was live on TikTok. Yeah, I was doing live. Like the gimmick is to do the live stream on TikTok, right?
Oh,
and to put in like you're not on, but
okay.
I was.
I was about to say, like, oh no,
it's to redirect them
to
YouTube and get them to come on YouTube to get them to listen on YouTube. But TikTok did not like some of the things I was saying, so that's interesting. I wonder what I said. Huh?
You got permanently suspended?
No. Until a certain time. I missed what it
Oh
was, but
my
it's until a
God.
certain time. I think like a 12-hour probably. I don't care. It's whatever. I don't give a shit. But it's I just wonder what I said, bro. I love when I've been suspended so many times recently, bro. I've been
Yeah.
suspended on YouTube for a week, Twitter for a week, multiple times. And they're always so vague in telling you why. They never actually tell you exactly why. But somebody who should be permanently suspended is this sick freak, Andrew Cuomo, and I'm tired of it. This is bullshit. It's hypocritical. They covered this Judge Kavanaugh. Look at this thing. They covered Judge Kavanaugh
Yeah.
they were attacking him. They attacked his family. They attacked him nonstop. And at that point in time, I was like, this Judge Kavanaugh guy's a clown. What a piece of shit.
Over a
Like,
flimsy allegation that happened
yeah,
30
but
plus years ago.
I didn't
Meanwhile,
back
these
then, dude. I
incidents,
didn't know. I didn't know.
meanwhile,
I believed it all. I believed the left back then when it was happening. I believed the left. So I was like, oh shit, this guy's a real scumbag. Like, how is he getting to be a judge if he's such a piece of shit and raped a girl in high school and all this stuff? And then like later on, I learned the actual story about what happened and it changed everything. And now we're seeing
yeah,
complete hypocrisy here.
absolutely. I mean, it's left cover. It's Democrat run media. They're going to cover for Cuomo no matter what. I mean, he's getting a little bit of heat now. I don't think he's going to resign. I think he's still going to be in office for at least 2 more years until he's up for re-election. I think he's up for re-election next year, if I'm not mistaken. And there's already some Republican challengers, Lee Zeldin, and I think a couple of others. They're going to challenge Cuomo in 2022. So I mean, he's not going anywhere. He's not. He's not. He has left cover. He's not going anywhere. I mean, the Democrats, the Democrat, look at this. The Democrat governor, the 2 Democrat governors that are in a lot of trouble right now is Andrew Cuomo and Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is actually going to be recalled. They actually got the signatures in California, 1.8 million. I think the requirement was 1.5. They got 1.8. So he's actually going to be recalled. Gavin Newsom was a liberal darling. Everybody loved him. Pelosi's nephew, Italian, whatever, the whole 9 yards. But he's running. The restaurants are not even open in California.
That's unbelievable.
Indoor dining.
What are we waiting for? Like, what are we waiting for?
They got the required signatures. 1.8 million. I was right. He is going to be recalled. I think the election is going to be held in the fall, September, October, something like that.
Wow.
Restaurants are not open. Children are not back in school yet. I don't know what's going on, but even some of the Democrats in California are pissed. That's bad when you got even Democrats pissed off at you.
You think he was trying to ruin the state, bro? Do you think like this guy, like his job was to ruin California? You think maybe that was it? Because with the fires and with Corona and his reaction to it and what they did there, like, do you think that's maybe what his job was?
I mean, I always want to believe the good in people, and I always want to think that they're not doing it intentionally, but maybe they are. I don't know whose orders they're following, but they're certainly not following the people that elected him in. He's not following our orders. And so is Cuomo. Cuomo was another darling, and now he's in trouble too.
Yeah.
2 darlings that everyone was loving last year. Now they can't fall back on the orange man no more. So they got to stand on their own. And now look at them now. Look how the mighty have fallen. Cuomo with a sex harassment scandal and a nursing home scandal. Gavin Newsom getting ready to be recalled. Look how the mighty have fallen.
It's true, bro. It's weird, and it's something that, hopefully comes to an end soon. Hopefully we get open up in this country, because I'm tired. I'm so tired of it, bro. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like being home. I kind of dig it. I don't mind it. Like, it's cool. I like going out in the summer more often, stuff like that. Winters in New Jersey sucks. And let's talk for a second about my governor here in New Jersey, Governor Murphy. So we just legalized cannabis in New Jersey, which is awesome. However, you can't grow it, right? And you can't buy it anywhere, but you're allowed to consume it. So you tell me, how do you get it? Right? Duh.
Are they not going to have any designated marijuana dispensaries?
There's nowhere you can get it yet. So it's like, so you made it legal, right? And you can't get it. You can't grow it. Yeah, like where can you get like, it's just
Are,
to me it's
are
just
they
so.
are they going to allow?
Yeah, but let's move it along. What are we
Yeah,
doing? Like, what else is happening right now in the state of New Jersey that requires more attention than getting the economy cranking again? And this would
right.
do it. They're putting a ridiculous tax on it. If they think that like this is going to stop people who have been doing it all along and have been growing it all along and have been like doing what they thought has been right all along, they're sadly mistaken, bro. They're going to get a lot of new people, but they're not going to get the OGs.
Murphy's probably doing it because he's losing a lot of tax revenue. A lot of the
Mm-hmm.
rich and a lot of the middle class are fleeing New Jersey. They're
Yeah,
going
that's true.
to the Carolinas. They're going to Georgia. They're going to Florida. They're going to Texas. They're
Mm-hmm.
gone.
I
Same
know,
with New
man.
York's tax base.
Yeah,
Tons of you can go down to Florida and Texas, and you will see New York plates everywhere. All of
100%,
the,
man.
all of the New Yorkers who went down to Florida already.
Yeah, and my friend moved to Florida. One of my buddies moved to Florida. He's down there. He's like, I'm not coming back. Like, even if
Yeah.
I do,
What?
even if I do leave my girl or whatever, I'm not going back. I'm gonna find a place. I'm like, dude, great, don't come back. Do it down there. Figure that shit out, man.
And then I posted a tweet earlier that got a lot of traction.
I'm gonna look it up.
New Yorkers will have to show COVID-19 passport to enter stadiums, theaters, and businesses. Got 200 comments on that. A lot of
Ooh,
reaction to that. People were pissed off. 201 comments, 182 retweets, and 352 likes. People were pissed off. So you got
wow.
Texas opening, Mississippi opening, Florida's already open, Georgia's also open as well. But New York wants to require a COVID-19 passport. Why all of us we need to have a passport to enter into any establishment? You don't even require a passport /ID to fucking vote. Yet you're requiring a passport ID to enter a theater or a Yankee Stadium or Citi Field or Barclays Center, Madison Square Garden, or to go to a restaurant. Where's I don't understand the logic in this.
I'm kind of stunned.
These ideas.
I'm stunned because this is what we were all predicting when this thing started was like we're gonna get like some kind of registration or we're gonna have to carry around something that says that we have a proof of vaccination, and that's scary stuff, man. Like nobody wants to be carrying around a note card that says they've been vaccinated or anything else. Like I don't want to carry around a card. I want to, dude, this is bullshit. Like, are you kidding me? You know what scares me too is like, there's a lot of people who just assume that you're going to get vaccinated. Like they changed the terminology to your turn. It's going to now be your turn for the vaccination. It's not like, hey, I'm going to get it, or maybe I'm not going to get it. I'm going to do what's right for myself and my family and whatnot. But now it's like you're going to wait your turn and your turn is coming and we are going to give you the vaccine. And then you're going to have this card that you're going to have to use to go places. This is turning into a dystopian society. It's Orwellian. Well, like, what are we doing?
And it's like, why? We've gone through many pandemics in our lifetime: SARS, bird flu, H1N1, and all of these different Ebola, all of the AIDS, all of these different things we've been through in our lifetime. But yet, we never had to, be required to show a vaccinated vaccine ID or passport or anything like that to enter a business or to go to a stadium or anything like that. We never even locked down for any of these pandemics we've had. Even during Obama, we had pandemics too, and we never locked down. But
Right.
this one pandemic, for some reason, I don't know, for some reason, we ended up following China, where the virus came from, where they locked down their citizens in Wuhan and in other areas. And we ended up following their way as the supposed right way, the correct way to handle the pandemic, when it obviously was not, because you already destroyed our economy, you destroyed people's lives, mass suicide, people are starving. It is nuts. And I don't know why. I don't know why they never require this for the flu or anything like that. Why they require it for this specific disease? Why? I don't understand the logic in this. And I think that people ought to reject it at every turn. And the rejection needs to be forceful. It needs to be loud and clear that we're not going to stand for this. We're not going to run around with no COVID-19 passport to go into Yankee Stadium. We're not going to run around with a COVID-19 passport to go into our favorite restaurant. There's some restaurants now that require actual like contact tracing information or whatever. I would refuse to give out that information. Why?
Yeah.
I just want to simply patronize your establishment. Why do I have to give you all my information for contact tracing purposes? Why?
You're familiar with Event 201, right?
Yeah, somewhat. I've heard of it.
So let me tell you about Event 201. So Event 201 was done in October. Here we go. October 18, 2019. It was a pandemic exercise conducted on October 18, 2019, vividly demonstrated a number of these important gaps in pandemic preparedness, as well as some of the elements of the solutions between the public and private sectors that will be needed to fill them. The Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, World Economic Forum, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation jointly proposed following. So, and it's this whole plan that they put together in October 18th, 2019. We're talking the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab and Davos and this group out there. Like, it's unbelievable. And Bill and Melinda Gates and the John Hopkins Center. And you bet your ass that the World Health Organization is involved in this, and the CDC and China. So when COVID-19 happened back last year, just about a year ago, I'd say, I went live on Twitter and I read this thing. I read this entire thing live on Twitter, and it just tells you basically, like, here's all the stuff. The World Health Organization currently has an influenza vaccine virtual stockpile with contracts in place with pharmaceutical companies that have agreed to supply vaccines should WHO request them. So all of this stuff literally came true months after they did it. Is that a coincidence? You will never convince me that it is a coincidence. I'm sorry. I will never be convinced that this was purely a coincidence. As you read through it, it will even tell you as you read through it that China was the leader in figuring out how to handle and to control the pandemic in this virtual practice that they did with the World Economic Forum, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It is absolutely absurd that this happened in October 18th, 2019, and nobody talks about it. We just wipe it away like it doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's a load of, look at these people. Like, who even are any of these people? Why?
Yeah.
You know, like globalism, dude. This is globalism. That's what this is.
They're the players. Look at that. They're the players. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's completely, absolutely insane. It's like, this is our worst nightmare. Meetings like this is our worst nightmare as Americans.
Like I always say, and like I said in the last podcast we did, the enemy always has to show their game plan before they execute it.
Yep.
They always got to tell you what they're going to do before they execute. The same thing with November 3rd. The enemy showed their game plan. Remember the Red Mirage? Yep. That was on the Axios story. They always give out the game plan of what they're going to do beforehand before they actually execute. And because I haven't read this, I've heard about it, I haven't read it, but most people don't read. So most people are not going to read this. I haven't read it, and most people are not going to read this. They're not going to sit there and read that. Yep. So they can boast and brag and post their game plan because they have to do it. I guess it's some sort of like ritual thing, like it's some sort of like bragging thing or some type of egoistic type of thing where they got to post their game plan. They got to let the public know beforehand, months in advance, before they execute. And from what I'm seeing here, what you're scrolling at through here is their actual game plan of what they wanted to do before they actually executed the plan. And it looks like so far it's all coming into fruition.
Let me show you. So all of these are all articles that were published before COVID-19 got going. So I'm just going to share this one real quick. I just opened this screen. Give me one hot second and I'll bring it up. This was, where did it go, Jay? Here we go. This is about Event 201, right? The next pandemic is out there. Is the private sector ready? This is from a website called Freethink. Look, new to Freethink, culture and society, entrepreneurship, innovation, science, technology. Oh, so cool. And look at the date there, bro. November 8th, 2019.
Wow.
The next pandemic is out there. They're telling us the next pandemic is out there. Is the private sector ready? And this just probably, I would say, goes through event 201. And here we go. World Health Organization responds on average to 200 epidemics events a year, blah, blah, blah. They got us all ready for this, dude. They
Yeah.
got us ready for this, and we didn't even know they were getting us ready.
The private sector is ready. Well, the private sector is the one that's actually pushing the vaccines. The private sector is pushing the COVID-19 passports. The airliners are doing it. I think Qantas was one of the first ones that they were talking about requiring a COVID-19 vaccination passport. So private, yeah. I don't think it's not going to be government that's going to mandate anything. It's going to be the private sector. Well, you can't shop here without the COVID passport. Oh, you can't go to a game without showing the COVID passport. Oh, you can't work at this job. You can't send your children to school. Yep. You can't shop for food. You can't do anything without having proof of this passport.
Bro, look at this real quick. Look at the screen here. Like, this is the event 201, a shot from it. And look at like the regions, the cases, the deaths here. Look at this. Countries reporting caps. Like, this is like just their like practice thing. Look, America's.
And it's all the multinationals doing it. All the big multinational Fortune 500 companies. They're the ones that are pushing this vaccine passport, the mandatory vaccinations. They're the ones that's pushing it. And I'm telling you, the people, if they don't want this to take place, they have to reject it forcefully, loudly, at every turn. Don't give these people an inch, because if you give them an inch, it's going to become a permanent thing, and you're going to be really hard for it.
Let me read this real quick. With no current global pandemic plan in place, simulations like Event 201 are crucial for teasing. I think this should be testing, you dumbasses, are crucial for testing out insights or teasing out, whatever, insights towards preparing for a major pandemic. The players, like you mentioned before, Mix, the players in the simulation must tackle big problems. How do we allocate limited medical and financial resources? How do we balance the risks and benefits of trade and travel? And how do we battle misinformation and disinformation, from innocent mistakes to conspiracy theories to propaganda? We don't have the answers yet, but what is clear is that pandemics will greatly impact the private sector, and any global pandemic plan will require the private sector's expertise, resources, and support. The goal is to develop a plan that we can begin setting up now. Ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you that this was all told to us. All of this stuff was told to us. Like, if this was something just so happened that maybe I paid attention to pandemics, that was like what I was into. I wasn't like watching Raw on a Monday night. I was watching like Pandemic Weekly, and like I was synced in, and I'm reading this every week. My head would have exploded if it was the same person I am today. My head would have exploded when COVID hit.
This was their game plan, right? And look how it's played out a year later. I'm still warning, even though we're seeing these states opening up again, I'm still warning that the lockdowns are never going to end. I'm still putting that out there because I don't think that they're ever going to end. The mask mandates are never going to end either. Even if the governors of these specific states end it, the whole culture has changed. That if you don't wear a mask and if you don't do what the left tells you to do, then you just get shamed. I mean, I never get shamed personally because I walk outside without a mask. There's people in New York, there's no one around them, and they're walking on the sidewalk or whatever, and they're wearing a mask. There's like no one around them, and they're wearing a mask.
Dude, I live in the burbs, right? I live in the suburbs, brother, and I saw a kid the other day. I had to run to the post office or something. I saw a kid walking from school, and he's outside and he's wearing the big mask on his face. Little kid, probably 11, 12 years old. Like, dude, you're outside. Enjoy your childhood. Take the freaking diaper off your face, man. Go have some fun, man. So let's wrap this up, bro. Great show tonight, Mix. Thank you so much for being on once again. I do want to ask you a question. So I have another friend who I had on the show a couple of weeks ago who is super liberal. He's a good dude, nice guy. I've known him for many years, but he is liberal. He calls himself a libtard. Like, that's what he calls himself. I was wondering if you'd be up to actually having a debate with him on this show about some topics in the future. We're gonna see, like, I'm gonna talk to him a little bit, and we could talk to offline and see what topics might be good to dig into. But maybe we can do that in like a month or so. Get you guys together on the line. I'll kind of be the moderator, and you guys could talk out some of the political differences. You down with that?
I can't make any promises on that. You see,
Okay.
here's the thing. We'll see. We'll see. We'll talk.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Because usually I don't like to debate liberals at all. That's just me.
Fair.
Because I know that whatever I say, they already got their own points of view. They're not going to listen to me anyway, and I'm not going to listen to their point of view either.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Why I stopped doing that. We'll see. I need to know who he is, and I have to watch some of his streams or whatever to see how he is. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, he's cool, man. He's actually a college professor out in California.
Oh,
and he was on my show. If you want, his name's KME. If you want, you could look in my shows. And if anyone watching wants to look down there, super liberal, super nice guy, personal friend of mine, known him for about a decade or so ish. Super nice guy, promise you that. But he's down to talk. I debate with him all the time. He's down to talk. But if you're down, you let me know. No pressure. But thanks so much. Okay. Either way, we're gonna do this again and again and again. Mix, you're the man. Please make sure you follow Mix on Twitter at iammix24. He went viral today, baby. Viral tweets from Mix happening. That's a huge tweet, bro. You even got some love from Aubrey Huff. That's some big.
Oh yeah, he likes a lot of my stuff. We both follow each other, and he does like a lot of my stuff. So
that's a beautiful thing. All right, man. I will talk to you later. Thanks again for doing this.
Thank you, man. Later.
Peace, bro.